So, hello, church. I'm here with Mr. Nate Barnes, which is fantastic. Nate and I are the same age, and we've just got the opportunity today to share something of his story. You can get to know him. Just be prepared to get encouraged and get inspired about what Jesus does, this alive God who changes lives. So, Nate, say hello.
Hello, mate. Hello, people.
Just tell us a little bit about growing up and stuff, because you haven't come from a sort of church family. So, of course, it's been, in a sense, a little bit different for you.
A little bit, yeah. I was christened as a child because my nan's Roman Catholic. She was Italian born and bred. So I have grown up with a knowledge of God and Jesus, but kind of never paid much interest. I spent more time on the black seat that Charlotte and Rosie would know about in St Catherine's. It was the naughty seat, so to speak, but I don't think they have those anymore. So yeah, I grew up Roman Catholic, but not showing much interest.
Sure. And so at what point did you start, faith to become real for you, and you start to think, hey, this is something I want to know more about?
I think that I went through more of why faith wasn't real for a long time, and things turned me against. I was very, very spiritual, quite like a long way through. I knew there was something. I used to talk to my grandpa who had passed away, and I knew there was something, and I was searching, and I searched for a lot of different ways and different things. And I think I first come to HEC in 2012.
Can you remember why? Why on earth did you get connected? What was all that about?
It was actually through Rosie and Marie. So me and Marie come together, and I loved the singing, but I still couldn't work out how Jesus could fix everything.
Yeah. And so you started connecting in. What were some of the points where suddenly it wasn't just, oh, that's quite interesting, but it was real for you?
I think I had my little funny 5 minutes in 2012. After that funny 5 minutes, it was about 6 months, and Rosie asked me to go out working with her or volunteering for Swindon Youth for Christ. So I did a bit around Swindon, and I started back to work after 3 years out. Along then with volunteering, I see some different things. And I think I was at home in my kitchen making a Slimming World burger or something. And I just thought, do you know what? If it's as easy as just saying yes to Jesus, I'm going to do it. But there was still something inside that was stopping me. So I messaged Rosie, and within 5 minutes, John had rang me. He said, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about all the rules and regulations. It is what it is. I said, do you know what? I'm going to do it. This is it.
Yeah. And how did that feel? Do you mean what happened?
It was just like life didn't magically change, but it was just like the heaviest weight of the whole world had been lifted off my shoulders through one simple decision. I didn't have to do any rules. I didn't have to bend down. I just had to say yes to Jesus and what he did for us.
Yeah. And then today you're quite passionate about this thing, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you're all in. And so what sort of moved from what a lot of people can end up going, oh, that was a personal thing for me. What's moved you to a place where actually this is what you're about, and actually you want to share it with other people?
I see in the work that I do, even on the bin wagons and in the part-time job in the pub, people struggling with different things. I see a lot of people struggling with alcohol and things that go along with that, the gambling and the lifestyle with it. And although it's great fun and I love it, and I like to go at the pub for a quick gin and tonic and have a bit of a good time, but there's so much more, and it's so much more exciting and more to live for than just that. And it's just by accepting Jesus.
Yeah.
It sounds so simple, and we make it so complicated.
Come on. It's good, man. And of course, chat a little bit about the pub stuff, because I know you were in Whitchellstowe for a bit, and we sort of sent you out there a bit, didn't we, really, as a church? And you got amazing opportunities there, talking to so many people. Share a bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, all through my pub, since becoming a Christian, and I've been away from HEC. So in the Baker's Arms, when I moved out there with Jess, I met a guy called David Austin, who was the curate of Somerford Keynes. So while I wasn't connecting with HEC, he came in, and every Thursday he'd come in and do some Bible study with me, every Thursday morning. So it kept that alive. And then that job finished, and I went to Whitchellstowe. Lo and behold, Owen Green was the vicar or rev, can't even think, you know what I mean, minister of Whitchellstowe. And he did the pub quizzes in the Baybury, and we connected, and he runs, or I run with the Whitchellstowe runners, and I just connected in with that, the whole community thing that they do over there. It was amazing, and I just wanted to see if I could share with some of what we had.
Yeah, and like in terms of some of the chances you had to share Jesus with people in a pub, can you remember some of those stories?
Oh, I share it all the time. If ever I see somebody wearing a cross, I'll always ask, I'm like, why'd you wear that? Or I always make a conversation out of it. Some people just like shut off. Some people put complaints on TripAdvisor and things. I'm like, well, they're spreading the word. It's not a bad thing. I think the last person that I spoke to had a serious conversation. I had a conversation with two of the Roughnecks in Highworth. I went to watch the Champions League game, Chelsea versus Ajax, down at the Plough. And for the first 45 minutes, I was speaking to two of the Highworth rebels about Jesus, and it wasn't me wanting to talk, it was them talking to me. I'm like, I just want to watch a game. But no, it was an opportunity, and honestly, it was although there was some banter, there was some proper serious conversation. And like, did they listen? Did any of it go in? I hope so. Yeah. I missed 45 minutes of the football, so I really do hope so.
Yeah. And like, what would you? Because I'm just trying to think back. Because I've known you. We work in about 7.5 years, don't we? We've known each other, and I've known a lot of that sort of God journey you've been on. And I'm trying to think back. What would you say was something that took for you? I can remember, like, we'd see occasionally and we'd chat a bit, and you say, "Hey, I don't know the Bible," and trying to get into stuff. And then it felt like, if I look back, there was like a point of sort of where there was a struggle to get from this place of, hey, I just said yes to Jesus and I'm at peace, to actually this sort of place of, I am all in, I'm following Christ, I'm part of the Great Commission. Because today you are doing, I know you are. And so I'm trying to think back. Can you think of maybe one or two things that helped that or sowed into that sort of change?
I think my faith has got stronger since, so from 2013 when I was baptised to about this time in 2017 was just a steady journey. In 2017, I got proper poorly because I was working so many hours. I moved to Trowbridge. I moved from a lot of the people that I knew, and I moved away from HEC, and I come back quite ill. I think there was a lot of people worried about me. And again, Rosie and her mum gave me a ticket to go and see United Pursuit in Reading Church. And I didn't want to go. I was at that anxious stage where I'm like, I can't go out. I can't do it. I've got to keep an eye on my sugars. Everything was all up in the air. You got the opportunities there. So I went, took that opportunity, and I was testing my sugar every 30 seconds during the day. I was absolutely paranoid about my diabetes. And for 2 hours, while I was watching United Pursuit, listening to them sing about the Lord, every time I thought about testing my sugar, the song just grabbed me and the word grabbed me. And that was the point of my recovery. I got out, I started walking, I started prayer walking. I'd do the loop of Highworth and I'd pray all the way around, just if I ran out of prayers and words to say, I'd pray that the Lord would bless the path where I'm walking, and it just, my faith has got stronger and stronger, and I felt answers to prayer while I was doing these prayer walks.
It's brilliant, mate. And finally, last question, mate. We're there. So you're in isolation, aren't you?
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah. And you've been, is it like, what are you, about week 5 now?
Yeah, I started early. I got my letter last week, but I knew that I was going to get one, and I knew with all the how my body feels when I get ill, I just didn't want to risk it. So I started my isolation early.
Yeah. So what's some top tips from Mr. Barnes on surviving lockdown and keeping your faith going?
I think structure. I know I'm not a massive structure person, but get up. I've done 220 sit-ups. I'm about to do a 5K run in isolation. I've got my treadmill here. I practice my drumming. I've got a keyboard that I'm learning over in the corner. I don't know if you can see it. The guitars aren't mine. They're my brother-in-law's. I've been learning how to garden, and I've built a rockery. I think it's just keeping... Although this is such a sad situation where we're going to lose some people, and God bless their families and them, I think it's an opportunity just to slow ourselves down and not go back into that hectic lifestyle that we're all living in. It's just
it's good.
It's a change for the better after all this goes away.
Yeah, it's good, mate. And now, a final challenge to you, bud. Will you just simply pray for us all?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I'm rubbish at praying, and it's the worst part of my discipline of this whole COVID-19 thing has been the loss of my prayer in the morning. But
come on, you can do it.
Lord, thank you for all that you've done for us. Can I pray that we're delivered from this COVID-19 as soon as we possibly can be? You said to ask, and it shall be given. And I'm asking, Lord, in your own time, can you deliver us? Lord, can I pray that we all take this as an opportunity, after all the sad stuff has gone, just to move on into a better, quieter world. In your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Well, there you are. Nathan's proved that nobody's bad at prayer. That was awesome, my friend. Thanks so much. God bless you all today.